Howdy viewers. So on this side of the car we're busy doing the valve cover gaskets. We finished the left side here. These are all being torqued up, but we had an issue getting to a bolt that's all the way back there, and had to find or order in the right tool for that. So we've got that, and Adam is busy removing the coils, and we'll then start unbolting the valve cover.
And hopefully that tool fits. Because it's tighter than a nun's you know what.
Can you say that on YouTube?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Maybe we should bleep it out. It's tighter than a beep beep beep, a nun's beep.
Okay. Okay. I want to show them the bolt.
What's the best way to get this out of the way? Okay. And it is that one down there.
Oh, it's so difficult to even see on camera, but it's way down there. So yeah, we've got some tools in, and hopefully it should not be a problem.
Can you see now? If you look, let me point to it.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff.
The clearance is really tight, so any sort of normal ratchet won't fit. But we've got this little kind of like slimline one, which will hopefully do the job.
Are we in there?
Almost. Need to bend that little heat shield just a smidge.
So what Adam is doing is a heat shield that comes up against the engine. It's really difficult to see on camera, but he's just bending it away a little bit to give us some more clearance to get the wrench in there with the torque bitty bit.
This is the official Audi workshop technique.
Yes, you won't find it in any manual. That's how official it is.
George and I were joking that removing valve cover gaskets is an engine out job because it's so difficult.
It's a dumb design is what it is.
Oh,
and?
Come on. Almost.
It's on though, huh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, it looks good. Come on, chop chop. It's a good thing you don't bill by the hour.
I do. We spent a lot of time trying to get this with a little Torx bit in a spanner and stuff, and it just didn't work, but now we've got it. Finally. Well, the bolts don't actually come out of the cover, they just sort of move back. So
yeah, that's a good point to remember. If you're taking the valve covers off, these bolts here, they don't, sorry, move your finger, they don't actually just come all the way out, they loosen, and but they stay attached to the cover. You want a wrench? Ratchet?
that's fine. This
okay.
is. You see, they just sort of click back, and they don't actually come out, which is kind of nice. And what we're hoping as well is that this will fix our oil leak.
Hoping? No, we're fairly confident. That's what I'd say. It has to.
Because I actually just made a video of me doing the valve cover gaskets in my A4, which is a V6, very similar to this, and that actually did fix my oil leak. If you'd like to see that video, like, comment, subscribe, all of that crap. No, but I'll upload it. We could call it Howdy A4.
Let's show our viewers Howdy A8. Let's go for a walk. there's Howdy A4. So this is Adam's ride. A4 station wagon, Avant to be technically correct. Well, back to Klaus.
I hope you weren't being rude about Christoph.
Christoph.
No, I don't know. Doesn't have a name.
Well, he does now. Christoph is his name. Right, how are we looking there?
We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 12.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just to take the valve covers off, all you need to do is take the coils out. Obviously pop the connectors, can't see, pop these connectors off, take the coils out. You can leave the plugs in and then undo all the bolts. This hose over here you take off by squeezing this collar, and it will pop off, and then the whole thing should come off. While we're waiting for Adam to undo the rest of the bolts, if you do have an A8 and you are doing a valve cover job and you're struggling to get to the bolts, this is the tool set that we bought. So this is a gear wrench, and it's a 29 piece. I got it off Amazon for $30, and that seems to be doing the trick for us.
As they say, link in the description.
Yes.
And I'll probably forget to do that.
Yes, so I'm thinking you might.
If I do, I apologize.
If he does, just go to Amazon and look up gear wrench 29 piece tool set. How many more have you got? 1, 2?
1, I think 2.
Cool. Now, another thing to keep in mind when you are doing this is don't just go from one side to the other. You don't want to warp the cover. I guess there's not that much of a chance of it happening with the valve cover. It's really important for when you're doing the head.
It is important to do it when you're putting the valve cover gasket back on,
because
so that
because you're torquing it, so you don't want to warp it while you're torquing it.
And you want to apply the pressure as you tighten it down must be applied in the right way, as evenly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you might end up with a leak. Even though it's torqued correctly, you might end up squashing the gasket in a way that it's not supposed to.
There you go.
On mine, for instance, I did the valve cover gaskets thinking that would fix my oil leak. I didn't torque it down properly. I didn't do it in the correct order, and I still had a leak. Then I thought the leak was further down. I ended up doing the valve cover gaskets again, did them in the right order, torqued them correctly, and my oil leak stopped. So it shows that it is important to do it properly.
So you better hold anything.
No, it's okay, I've got it. It's just really tight and I don't want to end up stripping it.
Is that not the one that we just undid, the first one?
Oh, I'm being an idiot. I'm tightening it.
Oh, dude.
We'll edit that out.
No, we won't. We're done. Just got to pop this collar off.
Yes. Okay. That's just a case of squeezing it. It's actually really easy.
Yep.
And I think...
Yeah, there we go.
Moment of truth. Okay, it's done.
Now the one thing you have to watch here is all the crap from that, exactly that. All that stuff going back in. So here it is. Inside. Looks alright. We are going to do the oil. So, but it doesn't look too bad. So here Adam is just removing the old gasket.
And it's actually kind of compliant. It's
the other side was worse. When you pulled on it, it just
Ooh,
tore.
Look at that. Getting closely there, you can see the gasket was tightened down unevenly. It's not good. So was that one as well. Look at that, and that, and that. when we removed the spark plugs, there was oil in the spark plug wells, and that could actually do it, because obviously this is around the spark plug.
This one here, this bottom one.
Look at that.
Yeah, but that is for this. You see this little kink here? See that? But if you put that back down, you see that it's got a second one there for some reason.
Okay.
You see this one also. This one's only got one kink. This one has got another one. So it definitely looks like this could be the problem.
See that?
There
I mean, that obviously shouldn't just tear. Look at that. So this definitely did need changing. The new one is really stretchy. Not that you should try and stretch it.
No.
Okay.
Cool. All right, just toss it in the bed there. Otherwise, it's gonna. You gotta get that out, huh?
Oh yes. Okay.
So what I was just pointing out to Adam is you can just see all the crud that was on there. Where is it? There you go. So we've got to be careful that stuff like that doesn't fall in to the engine while we have it open. So we'll give the give it all a wipe down, just carefully, and Adam is going to reseat the new, well, not reseat, but seat the new gasket quickly, and then we'll wipe down. Yeah, probably.
What can we go for?
Right here. So what Adam is doing is just putting a bit of oil on the gasket.
Hang on. Where are those bottles of oil?
Right there on the side.
Go get those. It's a bit fiddly.
Yeah, that's going to take forever. Alright, so while Adam is doing that, I'm going to help clean up the room here so we can seal it up nicely, and then we'll come back and we'll show you the reassemble. Okay, so we've given the a bit of a clean here. You can see this looks a lot better. Just try and avoid as best as possible not to get any of the crud in there. And Adam is busy seating the new gasket on the valve cover. And when you do reassemble this, as you remember, we said that the bolts don't come out. Now when you push the seal back in, you have to push the bolt from the other side so that it actually catches onto the seal.
Just push up.
Push up, yeah.
Push it around there.
There you go.
And you just make sure it's seated nicely and evenly, no kinks or anything like that. I'd actually just go and double check it, because if you get this wrong, you can still have a leak.
Yeah, you start all over again. It's not a very expensive job to do, but I think we paid 27 US for the gaskets, but it's a little time consuming, so it's not the end of the world, but we definitely want to avoid it. Now when we took the other one off, we showed you the little kinks that it's got, and you can see this has just got one. The other one's had like an extra kink, so we're hoping that's from the tightening.
And just on like that.
Well, for some reason the audio in our GoPro cut out here, so I'm going to have to do my best to do my voiceover skills. So what I was saying here is that the valve cover gaskets only cost us about $30 US, and I had a quote from our local workshop of mine. They quoted, I think, 5 or 6 hours to fit them, and I was just explaining there that this is probably no more than a 2-hour job. You know, so for a workshop to do it, it was going to be probably $600, $700 just in labor. And then they obviously put their markup on the gaskets as well. So, you're looking at like maybe $800 for this job. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere around there. This cost us, yeah, like $27 US. So call it maybe $40 Canadian. It's worth doing it yourself if you can. Now, what I was just saying there is that it's important to make sure that those surfaces are clean before the valve cover goes back on with a new gasket. And what I was also talking about here is that it's important to tighten them in like a spiral shape. What I'm doing there first is just tightening them all down so that there's a little bit of pressure, so that they're all just kind of snug. And then once that's done all the way around, you start tightening them, adding a bit more pressure in that spiral shape. Now there is an official order. We didn't have that. We didn't have that to hand, but it is roughly just a spiral shape from the inside out, and you tighten it with increasing torque as you go around, so that the pressure is applied evenly on the rubber gasket, and that way you won't get any kinks in the gasket, which can lead to leaks. So what you'll see here is this is after I've torqued down all the nuts to 10 Newton meters. And what you can see that I'm pointing out is there are two little marks of Sharpie, or just some Sharpie lines on each nut. And it's a really useful trick that I learned a while back, is to make a mark on the nut once you've torqued it. Then afterwards you can go back and visually inspect that all of the bolts have been torqued correctly without having to actually test each one with the torque wrench. You can just have a look, see that they've all got the little mark of Sharpie on, and then you know that you've done them all. So with the old oil out, it's in with the new. It takes, I think it was 8.5 liters of 5W40. There's the oil filter that we did. That one got obviously a new filter. Nice big mess underneath. Clean it up as best we could. That old oil will be disposed of correctly. It's worth noting here that you should not overfill the oil. There's a very German message there saying nicht überfüllen. So what I'm doing here is just measuring roughly the 8.5 liters, and then we will start the car, let it idle for a bit, turn it off, check the oil level, and take it from there. So here we can see just how oily and grimy the underside of the engine is, and you'll see in an upcoming video or some photos that you may have actually seen already just what a great job George did cleaning all that old gunk and grime off. Here we're about to check the oil level, and it is right in the middle, which is excellent. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our video, even though we had some sound issues. So I hope you also enjoyed a nice bossa nova elevator music. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Next time we're going to be tackling the air suspension on the back. Oh, hang on. Who's this? Doesn't he look like an idiot? Who's this guy acting like he knows it all? Anyway, hope to see you next time. Bye.